Welcome everyone to Life Integration Class 4 with Venerable Utpala and Tina Riedmann. This class offers us a practical and mindful way to bring the teachings into daily life, helping us connect wisdom with the real experience, relationships, and challenges. Thank you for joining us at ACI 5 Houses. We are glad you are here. Let's begin.
Hello, dear Janice, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, now I see me and I see you. Hello, guys, here. Nice to be in this class and to have the opportunity to teach today together with you. So I'm very pleased. Thank you, Janice, that we are going to do this together.
Oh, thank you, Tina. I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you.
So let's see what this class will bring. We had already very wonderful classes heard and insights of all our teachers. So thank you very much. And thank you for listening. I had today just now already technical obstacles. My camera failed. My second screen no longer worked. So
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect start to practicing the perfection of wisdom. I mean, the perfection of patience and wisdom.
Right. I thought so too. So please stay, all your audience, patient with me and with my tech obstacles, because I also teach today my first class in English. So I hope you will understand me and I'm not too fast for the translators. So just please let me know. And we teach together with, first I already said, with Janice Sander from Silverton, Colorado. And my name is Tina Riedmann from Austria. So I start perhaps with my insights. I was very proud when I read what topic I got, because I think it is no coincidence that I got this. I face those challenges with my children, my employees, my customers in my business that hurt me or take a lot of energy. So it feels like I'm always fighting and thinking about fighting for what? To be right? Am I right? Is that true? So actually my goal is helping all living beings, and now the tone already is good? Yes. Okay. So I see myself as a learning bodhisattva who is trying to learn step by step all the things what a bodhisattva needs to know. So as we all hear the perfections, what we are going through this week. And when I was thinking about the whole topic, currently I'm not able to help anyone yet, but I can develop to bring me into someone, into this being that can help everybody. And for this, I need the 6 perfections. So we don't have to make it perfect, but they help us to getting perfect. And today we are talking about the topic of patience. I want to start with, the pen already. So I was thinking about transforming me into a different being is significant undertaking. So why should I want to do that? I already told you I want to help everybody. And if the world as it disappears to me on its own, then there is no necessarily possible for us to change. So when I think the pen is coming from this side, I don't need to take care of something, but this is the reality as I think I see something. And if I will stay in this point of mind, then it is hopeless, everything. But if we think that through logical, the things don't have any self-existence. So if it's true that things are empty, it means things come from my own side. They are just a protection of my mind, opened from my seeds. And it's just the image coming out. And so they make my reality. And if that is true, then it makes much sense to fight and live an ethical life, be generous, meditate, so we can plant very good seeds as much as we can. Because when we are planting good seeds, then my whole perception is changing. And this changed the whole world. And I was thinking, how can I really get there and really implement this? And you know, all the three ideas in Buddhism about renunciation, bodhicitta, and correct worldview. So if we don't understand that there is a problem, just to ignore the fact that this body is vulnerable, this body is made of flesh and bones, and we have a problem because we have to die. So if we really understand this, then we can do something. We have to do something about it. Otherwise, it will never stop, and it will always go the cycle again. But when we start doing something, you need to reject, because that will be the trigger for you to change something. And if you really understand this, perhaps you could get depressed. I was the first time when I heard about the ban. But if you're thinking about it, should get a light bulb going on. So say, okay, that's me. And because it's always been this way that I was seeing the things like this, now I finally get it, and so I can change. And if I know this, I can say, okay, I want no longer stay in the circle of suffering. I want to get every living being with me out of it. So I can train my bodhicitta. And very, very, very important topic, the correct worldview, as you know. So examples every day of situations that are irritating me and have a potential for conflicts and frustrations. I have some examples for you. I have two boys, and my younger son, he's already 21, but he's studying at the university. And I always complain him like he doesn't study enough for the university or for the exam. And actually, this makes him angry. And instead of complaining, I could say, how could I help you? What do you need? And also with my second son, when he's already 24, but when he's at home and he's looking for something and he can't find the thing what he's looking for, then I just gave him a short answer. It is still there where it has every time been. But then he's also going to be angry about me. So I could say, how can I help you? Perhaps, for instance. And also, last week ago, when I met with my mother, she reproached me for not doing enough for my business because I study so much, and which doesn't earn me of any recognition or money. And instead of defending myself, I can avoid bringing up the objects of business altogether and choose a topic perhaps she likes. And I could ask her, what do you want to speak about? And through the meditation about those situations, I realized that if I don't train my mind to recognize where things come from, I get angry and I easily lose my patience. And I try to defend myself and also react in a self-centered way. And this does not help my mind to train in the sex perfections. So I could choose, instead of seeing the bad, I could ask myself, like the peacock warrior, what can I learn from my person or the situation what I'm just meeting? What it is or the person is going to tell me? How can the other one wants to help me? So my insight was normal reactions are wrong. And the point is that I want to refuse the response to other person's negativity with my own negativity. So because I understand this perpetuates the circle of suffering when I don't see the things like this way. So we can use this opportunity as a chance to plant good seeds. And so I can improve myself and can gradually change and refrain from unnecessary things that keep me in the cycle. So I can try to make myself aware that I'm currently using up negative seeds also. So how can I use the third perfection of patience to interrupt these processes of irritating situations, conflicts, or frustrations? Geshe-la recommended once, it's just an old karma. It has just nothing to do with you now, this moment. But you can use it because you know old karma popped up and it is gone. So be happy and remain patient during the clearings, the challenges, what I always have. So how could I plant a new seed against my anger? I was thinking. So how could we do, or what can I do when someone is angry about me? Even if someone suddenly turns against me, I shouldn't refuse to feel even a moment of anger. I should stop it in my head, and instead of getting angry or speaking negatively to the other person, I could help him, the other person, and give him what they want to have. And the second thing, perhaps, how can I train myself when I'm in a situation that I don't want to be? So perhaps no money, illness, noise. So in such moments, I should remember that there is no reason to be unhappy. So I can think about where it is coming from. That is a consequence of something I have done. And just what we heard before from in the teachings, it's nothing to do with guilt. We have the blinded, handicapped mind that doesn't see what is really happening here. And just when I know, okay, now karma is ripening, I know old seeds are gone and the negative karma is away. So just keep planting good seeds. Compared to a peacock warrior, just take the poison into and make it to something powerful. To reach my goal, your goal, and especially that we can help every living being. And in my situations, how could I stay when over and over comes many difficulties? What can I do? I could train also my mind and say, just be joyful and take gladly your pain and accept it joyfully for the sake of dharma practice. Because you know this is going to break the cycle. So no one says it's easy. So it's not easy for me. So also take care and be aware of your resources. If someone and something doesn't feel right for you, just let it go. Otherwise, fear will come up, and also fear doesn't help anybody. Try what's possible and do it with joy, and this sows good seeds. So just think about, what if, imagine a world where irritating situations of people, where you can remember emptiness again and again. It's like an anchor you take, like here my little thing around my arm, just always reminding me from where things are coming from. And so we can learn step by step to respond with kindness, so that our and your future is going to be bright, free, and happy from all over away the pain and all the conflicts. And if we can see it like this, the third perfection could become a key practice. And since I came in contact with the pen, I have become really calmer and more content over the last few years. And so I'm very happy that I'm always, the whole world around me reminds me to think about where my situation are coming from. So Janice, these are my insights. What are yours about this topic? Please share with us.
Oh, thank you, Tina. That was just so great listening to your practice of the perfection of patience. And I want to congratulate you for practicing your speaking in English. It was very easy to follow you and understand. And I think you should water those seeds and dedicate them to having patience. You know, might as well use it, right? So that was really great. So I'm really happy to be here today because it's something obviously that I need to work on, or I would not have been asked to teach this class. I mean, it's pretty obvious to me. So First of all, when we lose our patience, we become frustrated or irritated. And these are just other terms for anger. So really what we want to get rid of is the things that make us angry. And so in order to do that, we have to recognize the problems in our life that anger causes. We need to understand where our anger comes from, and then how we can stop it, or how it starts, and then solutions so that we can stop having anger. So that's where I want to go today. I have 3 points I want to cover. So I'm going to start off with my negative stuff, why we want to avoid anger attacks. Well, first of all, anger creates seen and unseen problems. We've lived infinite numbers of lives, and we've collected a lot of good karma and a lot of bad karma. So when we have one outburst of anger, what happens? It destroys that bank account of good karma that we've been collecting for eons. It just destroys massive amounts of that good karma. And a good example of where you can see the effects of this is if you've been diligently working on a 4-step plan, say for weeks or months, and you're not seeing any results, the unseen damage that happens when we get angry at people may have destroyed those good seeds that you've been working on. And that's a big, big problem, because it could result in us not even trusting in the seed system anymore. Just thinking that we've been working on a process that doesn't make sense. We'll lose our belief in seeds. And seeds is all we are. We're a result of our seeds. And with those seeds, we can live a magical life. But if we lose our belief in seeds, we're just going to spiral down and get angry more and more often. Master Shantideva, he puts it this way. We work hard year after year to share with others, to honor the good in each other and in ourselves, and to do many other kinds of good virtues. And yet, these seeds that we've been working on over all these years are destroyed by a single outburst of anger. That's a good reason to stop our anger, right? Yeah, raise your hand. I can't see you, but yay for these guys. I love it. We're getting a response. Okay. And anger not only destroys our good karma, but it ruins our happiness. It can hurt our relationships. Tina, you mentioned your kids and how you would want to help them, when they're studying, asking them how I can help. That's great. But sometimes, I remember especially when my kids were really young, or I have grandchildren now, and they haven't developed language yet. And I don't know what they want. And when they're crying and they're twins and I'm holding both of them, it's easy to start to get frustrated. So we really want to be careful, because I don't want to damage a relationship with my daughter by being not responsive to her children. And I don't want to ruin a relationship with my grandbabies because I lost my patience. So actually, when this has happened, I just started laughing, kind of laughing at myself, and it relaxed me to go, I'm going to help you, but you have to let me help this one first, and then I'll be right there. And it's just what we have to do all through our life. Take a moment, pause, and think what we can do in the moment to stop our frustration. Also, anger can kill you. And think about it, like I live in the United States, and frequently we have news results of road rage, where somebody pulled a gun on somebody on the highway for who knows what reason. So that's another great reason to control our anger, so that we don't hurt others and we don't end up in jail by causing accidents with our rage. So there's lots of good reasons. Another powerful reason that could affect any of us is we can lose our peace of mind. And I bet we can all think of someone who has lots of money. It looks like their life is going really well. They have fame, they have success. But if they have this subtle anger, it eats away at them and takes their peace of mind. And frequently what happens is they just give up on life and they kill themselves. And it's a big loss for everyone. So we want to eliminate our anger so we can have a peaceful state of mind. And another result of anger is it can disturb our sleep. I really have to look at that one because sometimes I have some insomnia. So I want to work on what's causing that. Where am I being subtly angry or frustrated or have no patience that's causing me to have sleepless nights? And when I have a sleepless night, it sets me up for a bad day the next day. It's much more easily for me to have anger or irritation the next day. So we want to have a peaceful night's sleep, and the way we can do that is to have peaceful thoughts. It hurts our health. It hurts our health in seen ways, physical ways that we can see, and in unseen ways. It causes our vascular system to have a lot more pressure on it. And when when you've seen cartoons or movies where the guy who's really angry, their face gets red, their body gets all tense and stuff like that, it really takes a toll on us. And it really does happen. Our face does get red because we're putting so much pressure on our blood veins. So we want to avoid that because that's going to create problems that we don't see. Heart disease, or it can affect our other organs like our liver and our kidney. And we know we need those. They clean out all the other junk out of our body. So those are really good reasons to try to conquer our anger. Anger, it throws us off balance. We don't focus well when we're angry. It disturbs our meditation practice. And if we don't have a meditation practice, we know what's going to happen, right? What do we need to reach our goal of seeing emptiness? We need a deep shamatha meditation, a focused meditation. And if we can't meditate, we can't reach our goal. So if we can't control our anger, it can start by ruining our day and ruining our entire life. And if you think about it, anger's pain. And when I talked the other day, I talked about when you see a little kid who falls in the playground and they hurt themselves, they have pain. And it's our human nature to want to stop pain. We have to want to stop our own pain because we're one of all those beings that we want to bring to Buddhahood. Anger is a mental pain. It's a pain that can last and hurt you much more than physical pain. Physical pain you might have for an hour or until somebody puts a Band-Aid on it. But mental pain can last for a day or your entire life. And it's totally useless. Can anybody out there think of any benefit from having a lifelong life of anger? If you can, raise your hand. Oh, wait, put your hand down. I don't trust that. Pachi's a big faker. No, anger doesn't serve us. It hurts us. It will always hurt us. And it serves no purpose at all. Master Shantideva also gives us another hint about anger and about ourselves. It's like we're in the kitchen and we grab a red hot skillet. It's so hot, it's heating up the kitchen, but we grab it with our hand and we hold on to it. And it's hurting us, but we won't let go. We don't know what to do. That's what our anger is. It's hurting us. It's burning us. It's destroying us from the inside out, but we don't know to let it go. So why do we hold on to something that hurts us and causes us so much pain? It's self-inflicted pain. It doesn't hurt anyone else, and it doesn't come from anyone else. It comes from us. And Tina mentioned that when she talked about the pen, when she understood that the pen is coming this way, and she proved it to herself because the dog doesn't see a pen. She sees a pen, so she understands it must be coming from my seeds. I have the seeds to see a pen. So if we understand that, then we know we can let go of the pain because it's coming from us. That's not so easy, you know. I mean, I don't let go of my mental anger that easily. Sometimes it feels justified. You know, somebody took something from me. It wasn't theirs to take. That's an example. And I get angry, but it's not justified, because if you say it's justified, you're denying seeds. Everything comes from seeds. Geshe Michael talked about dependent events. Dependent events. I have to say that. It's big words for me. Okay. So a dependent event is something that I did in the past. It could be the words that I said, the thoughts that I had, or the activities that I took because of those thoughts. If they hurt someone, then that dependent event, when it ripens, is going to be a negative result. And it's like grabbing onto that hot skillet and not letting go. It's going to cause me mental pain. So if I don't want to continue having that mental pain, what am I going to do? You know, I like to think of this thing of stop, drop, and roll. That's what you're supposed to do if there's a fire. You stop, you get low so you don't get all the smoke inhalation, and you roll to put the fire out. So if we have a moment of severe anger, if we just do that, stop, take a moment, think about where it's coming from. Think about why you don't like it. It's painful. It hurts you. What are you going to do? I don't want to replant it. So for me, this third perfection, the perfection of patience, is really the perfection of don't yell back when you think you should. Don't yell back. Don't repeat it because you don't want more pain. So that's the perfection of patience. Don't repeat the problem. I want to mention another type of anger that I think is common to most humans, and it's jealousy. Jealousy is a form of anger. You know, I liked Sarah. She talked about being jealous of her friend at the Three Jewels, and she had to work on it for a long time. And when she worked on it, that person that she was jealous of became one of her best friends. Jealousy is subtle, and it's tricky to get rid of. It's an anger. It's believing that someone has something that you deserve, but you don't have it. It's not acknowledging that they did the hard work to get that thing. What was that work? They planted the seeds to have that good thing, and you didn't. I frequently have to remind myself of that. That person got that because they planted the seeds for it. I don't have it because I didn't plant the seeds. That's just plain old logic. It's simple. But if we can stop, drop, and roll, stop, take a breath, think about seeds, then we don't have to create more jealousy in our lives. It'll still come up. Don't think it won't. These won't stop us from having anger. It won't stop us from having jealousy, but it will stop us from planting more seeds and perpetuating our suffering. You know, I have a story. I like to tell stories. So my family, my daughters, myself, all of us, we have dogs, okay? And frequently I end up being the dog babysitter, or I'll join together with one of my daughters and we'll walk the dogs. Well, we have one dog, a border collie, and she's the best of the lot. And she likes to get a stick and drop it in front of us, so we'll throw it for her. And then she'll fetch it and bring it back. Well, what happens, she just loves that. And that's her job as a border collie. That's her work. One of the other dogs will see Gracie enjoying this stick, and Juniper will run up and steal the stick. Junia will run off with the stick until the other dog, Solly, who's bigger than the rest, will body slam Juniper, forcing her to drop the stick, and then Solly gets the stick. So the key thing is we're in a forest of sticks, and they're fighting over one stick. And the only reason those dogs want that stick is because somebody else has it. And that is just like us humans. Human nature. Sometimes we want things just because we don't want someone else to have it, just like the dogs. And then when we get back to the car, ready to go home, guess what they all leave behind? The stick that they caused a war over, that they fought over, that they were jealous over. No one wants it anymore. So that's human nature. That's jealousy. We don't have to have it. We just need to plant the seeds to get what we want. Okay, so what possible emotion does this give us? How can anger be helpful at all? Is there any reason for us to have anger? Any at all? It doesn't serve any purpose other than taking our joy and stealing our happiness. And Master Shantideva also has a solution to this, or a quote for this. If we see a problem and there's something we can do about it, why do we feel upset? Ask yourself that. If you have a problem and there's something you can do about it, why be upset? And if we have a problem and there's nothing you can do about it, then what's the use of feeling upset? Because if we can fix it, we can do something about it, and that's what we should do. But if there is nothing we can do to fix a problem, then we just need to change our thought frame. And I thought about this in traffic. If we're stuck in traffic, then there's nothing we can do about it. So why get angry? We can do something else. We could meditate. I mean, really, if we're stuck in traffic isn't moving, we can close our eyes and have a 5-minute meditation. Don't worry, the car behind you will let you know when it's time to go. They have horns, and they'll let you know. Okay, but in order to get rid of our anger, what do we first need to do? We need to recognize the problems of anger, and we need to start working against having that anger. It's the first step in achieving the perfection of patience, is looking at why we have the anger and noticing that we do have it. Because if we never take the time to recognize that we do have anger, we're not going to work at getting rid of it. So why do we have anger? Where does it come from? Well, anger comes from something we did in the past. Tina brought that up. I'm going to bring it up again because it's something we continually forget. We forget that that anger is a result of something that I did in the past. And if we remember the 4 laws of seeds, we planted it, we must get a result. And the longer that seed is percolating inside it, the bigger the result's going to get, whether it's good or bad. So it's empty of not having a cause. And that cause is us. We caused it. We created that anger. It comes from something we did. And it comes from mistaken worldview. What does that mean? We forget that it came from a seed that we planted. We see things wrong all the time. We were born with this habit. We were born with this problem of thinking things are coming at us because that's the way we see it. If you're like me, I see things out there. They look like they exist out there. They don't look like a luminous image that is projected from my mind from seeds that I planted in the past. They look like they're out there. Jenny looks like she's out there coming at me. And it's a habit from all my infinite lifetimes, and I was born with it in this life. So if we want to destroy our anger, we have to remember that things are coming from us. In the mind-only school, that other person that is causing us this anger and this frustration, they ripen, they make us angry, and they stay inside our head. When I heard Geshe Michael say that the other day about how those things ripen and they stay in our head, it really brought home the idea that things really are inside of us and from us. We project it. That's the Mahayana way, is that we see things out there coming from our seeds. So if we can understand that, we can begin to conquer our anger. It doesn't get rid of those seeds, but it stops us from having more bad seeds, because we won't react to anger with more anger. And the other thing it does is, when we understand where anger comes from our seeds, it gives us a layer of protection. We're protected from our anger by knowing where it comes from. It's like a diamond bubble around us, protecting us. And modern psychology can help us, but it can also hurt us. It can also help us to plant more bad seeds. There's a mistaken technique of expressing our anger to get rid of it, but actually that hurts us. It actually plants more bad seeds instead of helping us. So we need to be careful of how we want to get rid of our anger and how we go about it. And the best way is to remember where our anger comes from. And it's a great example of the two husbands in the kitchen, or I like to think of it as I didn't do anything. They just yelled at me for no reason at all. And that happens to me all the time. People yell at me for no reason at all. And I start to get angry, but I don't have to if I think about where things come from. I think you all know the two husbands in the kitchen sutra. Yeah. Well, if we walk into the kitchen and somebody is yelling at us, there are two husbands or two wives in that kitchen. One of them is real and one of them is not. The one that is not real is the I didn't do anything husband. And the one that is real is the one that is yelling at me because of something I did in the past. That person, whoever's yelling at me, is actually a postman delivering my mail or my karma back to me. I planted it, and now it's returning to me in the form of yelling. I get this bill or this bad news, I don't want to receive it again. So I remember it's coming from me, and that helps prevent it. And I can start breaking that habit, that millennia-long habit of thinking things are attacking me, and remember they're coming from me instead. Okay, so now we've learned how we can stop our anger. But I want to give you an example. I got this class for a reason, and I had an opportunity to get upset, and it was last night. I had been working on presenting this class, and I have an old computer, and it doesn't have a lot of battery value in it anymore, and I forgot to save the document, and the computer shut down, and I lost everything. And I think if I had not been working on the perfection of not getting angry, I might have thrown the computer out the window because I lost the document. But I'm so happy for the opportunity to have this class today because I got a chance to practice it's coming from me. And I didn't throw the computer out the window. I plugged it in. I did a couple of things to try to restore the document. That didn't work either. And I still didn't get angry. So this is something I'm really happy about. I didn't get angry. I didn't get frustrated. I just thought to myself, this happened to me so I could learn something about this class. And I'd already gone through the class and done the document. So it was easy to retype it out and redo it and have that learning in me more deeply than it would have been. And another way to stop your anger is by holding on to your joy. You know, like last night I had to claim that I was okay with it and maintain a sense of happiness that I was protecting myself from replanning these nasty situations. And I didn't destroy any good karma that I'd made during the day, at least not at that time. I might have at some other point. But we only get angry when we have a mistaken worldview and we think it's coming at us. So if we can do that stop, drop, roll, or stop, take a breath, remember where things come from, it's a good way to at least struggle to not get angry. And that struggle to not yell back plants a good, powerful seed. And then the next time the struggle, it expands and we are more time without anger. So we're doing better and better each time we struggle with our anger. And one day we will conquer it. And I look forward to that day. Okay. I like this. It's a DCI thing, but Master Shanti Deva also says an angry person is no more responsible for their behavior to us than a stick is responsible for hitting someone in the head. So if someone hit you in the head with a stick, you wouldn't get mad at the stick. You would get mad at the anger that's behind the stick. And really, I like to think of that stick as merely the postman, like I mentioned before. This stick is the postman hitting us on the head, a result of the karma or a bad deed I did to someone in the past. So if you keep those things in mind, we can kind of hold our anger off and keep it at bay. And then we can avoid triggers, things that would cause us to get angry. Like if we're hungry, we can get angry. I think it's called hangry. Yeah, my daughter frequently gets hangry and I have to feed her quick. Oh, and Ale, she has that problem. Yeah. And someone got me breakfast, so I won't have that problem. There will be food for me. Okay, angry, and we can get off balance. And it makes us, if we're already angry, like if I'd gotten angry last night and resented that I was going to teach this class, I would have come in off balance and I would have been angry when I didn't know where I was going to teach the class from. Instead, I laughed. I'm learning to laugh a lot more, and most always at myself. Yeah. And if we have a lot of anxiety, it's a good time to be cautious because we're already on pins and needles and just the smallest thing can upset us. So if we're aware of these triggers, we can start to try to avoid, recognize it and avoid letting it turn into anger. When we're lonely, that's an easy time to get angry too. It's like we start imagining this self-doubt in ourselves. Why doesn't anybody call me? Nobody likes me. I don't blame them for not liking me. I hate myself. This kind of stuff, it really throws us off balance and it doesn't serve us. So watch out for that. And when you're tired, don't make important decisions when you're tired. You'll regret them. So these are just things to watch out for so you don't get upset. And if you're feeling sick, you've got a fever, a bad cold, don't make big decisions, don't make phone calls, okay? Unless you need something. Okay. So the perfection of patience is the key to stopping our anger. And we can stop reacting with anger by responding with kindness. And I want to just review a couple of correlations to our anger that come from this book. It's an older version of it, but it's the karma of love, and it's filled with karmic correlations. And then Master Shantideva has a list of correlations too. So I'm going to read through a few of them because they might relate to you and they might give you some tips to how you can avoid it. Okay. So here's a karmic correlation. No matter what you do, the people around you, let me start over. No matter what you do, the people you hope to please never seem pleased. And here's the seed you planted: hypocrisy. in saying one thing and doing something else in your life. Here's what you can do about it. Try never to be insincere, especially about your personal inner development. You know, during this retreat, I've had a lot of people talk about, people pleasing. And you can't ever please them. But I think when we are trying to, this coming from my own example, when we're trying to people please, I'm probably doing something that I don't really want to do, and that's a hypocrisy. So if I don't want to do something, I think I should say no. And I think that's a bodhisattva. That's part of our developing our bodhicitta, is to not to overdo and take on things that we don't want to do and will regret. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. What if everyone around you seems to criticize your every move? Well, here's the seed that you planted to get that result. You didn't care from your own side whether or not things you do in your life are good or not. So if we don't care about our behavior, then we're going to have people criticizing us. And what we can do about it is avoid doing actions that hurt or are inconsiderate to others. So good points. But the bottom line is the biggest thing to stop our anger is to recognize we have anger and have the power to stop it by understanding where it comes from. It came from a dependent event. It came from the seeds that we did in the past to ourselves, to someone else. It doesn't matter if somebody else sees you or not. You saw yourself do it. So if we're aware of where things come from, we can stop replanting them. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the lovely tech team back there and all you lovely translators. Thank you, Tina. It's such an honor to meet and present with you. All right. We have a few minutes for questions if there are any questions. Thank you. Any questions online? Oh, I see all the hearts. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, hearts. You're on a screen down there in front of me. That's why I look like I'm looking down. Oh, I see all your faces now. It's so good to see all of you.
I have a question because this is so relevant.
Hi, Shanti.
Hi.
What's your question?
What I'm going through right now, this is very relevant. So someone's very angry at me and they're yelling on the phone about everything how wrong I am, and the conversation's not going anywhere. So I tell them, I really can't do this right now. And then they keep yelling. And what they think they're doing is they want me to hear them out, but it's destructive and it's not helpful. So I said, I really have to go now. So I hang up. It's in a time when there's a lot of real involvement with each other, like things we have to do, special things. And so now there's just days and days of silence. I don't know. It just sometimes I feel like there's something I want to say, but I just have to wait. I just have to wait. And it gives me a chance to work all this stuff. So I don't know. How do you know if there's something that you do need to say after days have gone by and you have an event coming up and you're in relationship? What do you just keep waiting? When in
Tina,
doubt, wait.
do you want to take that one on? I think Tina had a suggestion when she tried to help her sons.
I think we should stop waiting and go into action and do something. Perhaps the first step, just to have an idea what the other person wants to have and what they want me to say. And if I could understand in this moment that this situation comes from me, then I could perhaps stay behind of all those situations and just think about them and say, okay, what do you want? How can I help you? And I have the opportunity to stop my selfishness, actually, also that what Shantideva always say, we have to help others, but it's not easy, but you can try. And so the other day when I had these problems with my boys, I knew, oh, it's just annoying me and it makes me upset, but I just do it. I just keep do it and help them. And I see that the seeds are growing and the irritating situations are going to be less. And if in my situation with my mother, I was also thinking, why should I tell her something where she is going to be upset? So now it's on my part to say, okay, I won't tell her those things anymore because she is getting angry. And in this moment, I just wanted to share something with her, but she got angry. So I said, okay, please, perhaps just be quiet for me, then I can help her not to get angry. So in meditation, I think perhaps this is going to be a good seed that I can plant, that my anger or my upsetness will level down and it's going to be less and less.
So I guess the question is, even if they're attacking you and you keep trying to be kind, at what point is it best to just stay away? Like, is it best? So it's just something I have to feel and figure out.
Good question, Shanti. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It's like the stick. You just have to avoid it for a while.
Yeah.
And that was a great answer. Thank you, Tina. Yeah. Are there any other questions? Thanks, Shanti. Great question.
I had a question. Sorry, I guess I'll just keep talking. Hi, thank you for having this. Anger is such a big thing that I've been dealing with, and I recognized a few years ago when my dad passed away that it was something I inherited from him. I don't know if you can inherit anger, but I feel like I inherited anger, and it was my view of the world that anger was what you're supposed to react with, so that's something that I've been dealing with. So last year I had a situation where I was um I was asked to work with an off-Broadway group. I'm a writer, and there were so many misunderstandings, and I had worked on a script, and they did something that I thought I couldn't believe it, that they wanted to take something that I had written and then cut it up and do it that what they would, as it was as if they were extracting the work I had done. And that was not, I thought that was not what we had agreed with. And when I tried to, bring that up, they were refusing, and it made me really angry. It made me not want them to be successful, and they're going on with the project, and I don't agree fundamentally with what they were doing with the project. I felt like it became a vanity project instead of them trying to talk about the truth, because it's about the life of a Nobel Prize winner who's still alive, and it was very upsetting for me because it felt that they weren't respecting the source material, and I had to step out of it. And I'm still, every now and then I still think about it and I get so angry, and I don't know, is that a seed that I mean, obviously it's a seed that I planted, but also ethically I'm just trying to think about what seed did I plant? How can I not feel angry over, over that, but also um this idea of them being successful. But I know in my heart that if it becomes successful, if it goes out in the world, that it will hurt certain communities because they're not promoting something that is truthful. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like I'm in an ethical dilemma, and I think about that all the time. Thank you.
Well, that's a loaded question. It sounds like you're feeling very hurt, and it feels like it's unjustified to you. You know, of course, it does. It doesn't help to hear it comes from your seeds right now. That's not helpful. Acknowledging your pain in this situation is more helpful than saying, "Oh, it's seeds, seeds, seeds." But we do have to work with the seeds. But it is a ripening result, and it's hurting you, and that's pain. And it sounds like it might be painful for other people who would see this play. So I don't have an immediate answer to how you can feel better today with the pain you're experiencing. I think the only thing that I could possibly, in my simple mind, tell you is that perhaps you can work on not replanting this. You know, it's not going to make you feel better immediately, but it might help you in the future. I know about ill will. I've had it, and it doesn't go away right away. And we see unjust situations in our world all the time. We see it especially in our, even here in the United States, pretty frequently these days. And I frequently wonder what I can do about it. I can just start changing the seeds I'm planting. And, you know, maybe we could, you could reach out to Tina and I later, and we could work on this together. But right now we're out of time. So I would encourage all of you guys to do what you do to stop planting pain for ourselves with joy. Work on recognizing where it comes from, and we can work on stopping it. So thank you all. I appreciate you so much. See you next class.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you to all the audience.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining Life Integration Class 4. And thank you, dear teachers Janice and Tina, for guiding us in this session. We hope this class offered helpful reflection and practical tools to support our daily practice. Thank you for being part of this offering at ACI 5 houses. See you soon on the next lesson. Bye.